Now to Afghanistan, where a killer wearing an Afghan army uniform opened fire in a meeting involving high-level military commanders in Afghanistan. It happened at the palace of the governor of the Kandahar province. The intended target was to kill the top American general in that country, General Scott Miller, but he escaped uninjured. But two Afghan commanders were killed in the gun attack, a top police general and a regional intelligence chief. 3 U.S. nationals were also wounded, a soldier, a contractor, and a civilian. The Taliban took credit for the attack. Just last week, the U.S. diplomatic envoy for Afghanistan says that he met with representatives of the Taliban to try and find an end to the 17-year-old war. That meeting happened in Qatar. The Taliban announced that decision. It was the first confirmation of talks between those sides. Here now is General James Mattis, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, on this deadly attack.
I have seen the officers around him. I've seen the maturation of the Afghan security forces, and it's a tragic loss of a patriot for Afghanistan, but I don't see it having a long-term effect.
With me now from Kabul, Afghanistan, is Ali Mustafa. Ali is a news presenter with TRT World. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. I want to point out to our viewers, elections are underway in Afghanistan, very important elections. This killing spree, the attack of top military and police commanders, what impact is this having on the race? What's the significance?
Well, the direct impact for the elections is that they have been postponed in Kandahar, where this incident took place. And you are right, Afghans go to the polls, parliamentary elections, tomorrow, October 20th, which is a Saturday, after 8 years. The last time parliamentary elections were held was in 2010. Since then, they've been delayed 3 times. But as you mentioned to your viewers, the security situation is worsening, and especially with the killing of General Raziq. This is a guy who was 39 years old, born when the Soviets were moving into Afghanistan, and he used an iron fist. According to Human Rights Watch, a lot of abuses, a lot of excesses, and he was killed in what the Americans would classify as a green-on-green attack by one of his own forces.
Ali, what is the significance of the Taliban last week releasing a statement confirming they met with U.S. officials in Qatar, that they were some kind of negotiation underway, and now they're taking credit for this horrific killing attack?
There was indeed, and the Americans have confirmed this as well. The only people out of the loop were the Afghan government. They weren't consulted on the meeting, according to reports. And as this meeting was happening, apparently, despite what was discussed, according to the Taliban, a possible U.S. withdrawal in the future, they have carried on these attacks against high-profile individuals just ahead of the elections.
Ali, what is the impact, do you think, going to be on the American policy there? 17 years now, President Trump campaigned on bringing the troops home, ending the war. It's time to leave. Now he's committed to thousands of additional troops. What's the future?
Well, think of it this way. This is the longest war that America has fought outside the United States. It's longer than Vietnam. It's longer than anything else that the U.S. has been indulged in or engrossed in. Here on the ground, the Americans have lost. You speak to the average Afghan, you speak to the politicians, they say the Americans have lost, but still they don't want the Americans to leave because they're afraid that it'll be a return to the past when the Soviets left and Mujahideen, these rebel fighters, razed places like Kabul to the ground. So while they say that the Americans have failed, they don't want the Americans to leave.
All right, then the investigation into this killing spree continues today. Ali Mustafa joining us in Kabul